What on earth is this? Oh my god, that is so much better. That's actually really cool. And then you can put your coat on. Oh yeah, maybe I should have put thumb holes in this. Okay, let's do this. We have our 5 new shades from the Stylecraft Special DK range. So let's have a look at the shades quickly. We've got Purple Smoke, Wild Orchid, Cinder Rose, Milky Tea, and Pink Rhubarb. So these are 295 metres each, 322 yards. For those who go by yardage, 100 kilograms, oh my god, 100 kilograms, imagine, 100 grams per ball. So we've pretty much got like 1,500 metres, just like, you know, give or take, like, well, 1,475 approximately. So we are gonna, well, I'm gonna, if you want to buy these and do exactly this, then go for it, because I'm pretty sure that beginning me, like, was wearing something totally fabulous. So I'm gonna put them in a kind of order where the light ones are not touching. So, like, I mean, there are very, very different shades, but I feel like Milky Tea and Wild Orchid are very kind of like very light, so I'm going to alternate them. That's the palette I'm going for. I want to use these, I want to test them out, I want to make sure that they wash nice as well. Since it's acrylic, like, I'm working with acrylic, so it's going to be dead stretchy. And this design, you can either work it so that you're kind of, I need a scarf, let me just grab a scarf and I'm going to show you what I mean by the next bit I'm about to say. So I made this scarf and it took me 2 hours, and this scarf, oops, it's very long. It was made with Stylecraft Aran or Chunky, one of the two, I can't remember. It's been that long since I made it. I do actually have a video on how to make this exact scarf and I'll link it down below. This is basically, I just recreate the MiuMiu Scarf. So this is pretty much what we are going to be doing. If you haven't already seen the MiuMiu Scarf video, then watch that, because that is just the pattern, like, without any colour changes, and it just works like from one row. And then it works up. And that's what I'm going to do with this. If I was to start it off and do a chain like this way, because obviously we want this scarf to go around like this and then have sleeves. It's going to have to be longer than this one though. So if you wanted to do it so that it goes this way, it will absolutely work 100%. You can do it that way. I just wanted more colour changes in mine. So when I do it, the colour changes are going to be like, you know, going this way instead of this way. But you can absolutely work it both ways, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to start from this way because obviously the colour changes. So yeah, if you haven't seen that video already, go and check it out, because it will just give you the basic pattern on what we're doing. So let's get started. I'm going to start from like here, so like, it's just my dummy scarf now. I'm going to start from this side, but what you want to do is you want to chain it so that it kind of, if I stand up a little bit, you want to chain it so that it goes kind of from here to here, because you want it like, it's like a sweater, so you need it to be big, you need it from there to there. So I don't know how many chains it's going to be, I'm going to find out in a second, but the really important thing is that you chain loosely. If you don't chain loosely and you make a chain, it's gonna become like, so say that was my starting chain here, like along here like this. If you chain it tightly, as you work up, it's gonna go into like a trapezoid or trapezium shape. So I'm gonna flip you around. We're gonna basically make the scarf. I'm not gonna do any sample swatches, I'm literally gonna make the scarf. So yeah, 5 colours, let's go. So for this stitch, your chain multiple is 3 plus 1. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, so there's 9, 10, 11, 12, and notice I'm not chaining tightly, like it's got like enough stretch to it. So honestly, do not make this tight or you will just like, you'll have to start again basically. Okay, so I have chained 57 plus 1, so 58, and my chain, it's very stretchy because it's acrylic. It's approximately 17 inches, my chain. So, like I said, multiples of 3 and then just add 1, so mine's 58. If you want to do it the same as me, go for it. If you want it a bit thicker, then obviously keep chaining 3s. If you want a bit less, then don't chain as many 3s, but just make sure you add the 1 at the end. So what you'll do now is you will work into the back bump. So you're going to look for the 4th back bump away from the hook. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll yarn over and you're just going to do double crochets like this. So oops, hang on, it's dropped, there we go. So there's 1, and then you want to put another 1 into there, that same 4th one from the end. Oh, what is wrong with me today? There, like that. And then you want to skip 2, so skip that back bump, yarn over, and then you're going to go into this back bump, the third back bump away, and you're going to make 3 double crochets into that back bump. The reason that we're going to work into the back bumps for this is because when we've finished like the actual rectangle scarf portion, you're going to be going back across this chain with a row of single crochets, because this ultimately will be the start of the sleeve part, and it's so much easier to decrease once you've put a row of single crochets into that. But that's not going to be for a while yet, because we've got a whole entire rectangle scarf to make. So skip 2, yarn over, and then go into the third back bump like that with 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, and you're just going to do this the whole way across your chain. Okay, so you'll skip 2 back bumps, go into the third one, make 3 double crochet, skip 2 back bumps, make 3 double crochets into the third one, and you're going to do that all the way along. So I'll just do a couple a bit quiet and a bit speeded up for you. Oops, I didn't complete that one. Just so you can see what you're doing. And then because we didn't chain too tightly, it should stretch and it should be nice. So just go all the way along to the end of your chain, and I'll meet you back when you get to the end of the chain. Okay, so I'm at my final one, skip, skip, and into the bump, yarn over, and then we'll make 3 double crochets into this final bump. 2 and 3. Okay, and then you want to turn your work. Okay, let's just have it in spec. So you should have all of these like this. So what you want to do now is, I'm going to do a standing double crochet, which is you put your hook in and you make a single, and then you put your hook through the front leg, and then you make a single on top of that. And I find that that just makes it like go straighter up the edges. I'm going to chain 1 because I need to jump over these 3, and then I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to make 3 double crochets into this gap here. So there's 1, 2, and then on this third stitch I'm going to pull through 2, but I'm not going to complete the stitch because I need to bring in my second colour. In order to change colours, basically I'm going to have to pull my second colour through this loop, and then I'll have to make 3 double crochets with that colour, and I'll be doing a colour change every other stitch on this row according to the colour chart. So my second colour that I'm going to do is going to be this one. So let me grab this and I'll show you what to do to pull it through. So with your new colour, just get it on your hook. Oops. Get it on your hook and then just pull it through like that. Okay, may leave quite a decent tail so you can weave it in afterwards. Okay, and then just pull it tight, and then you want to carry this other yarn through with you. Okay, so just pull that one and lay it down, then you'll just yarn over and you'll make your first double crochet into there, and then things will like tighten themselves up. Then make a second double crochet into that chain space, or that, not chain space, into the space, and then make your third one, but do not complete the stitch, just pull through it once, and then you're going to switch colours. So you're going to pick up the other yarn and you're going to complete the stitch. Okay, it's important not to pull things too tight here. You want to pull them firm, but you don't want to pull them too tight. And then you want to lay this down and you want to do 3 double crochets into the next space, but don't complete the third stitch because that's where you'll change colour. You have to make sure that you crochet over the other colour that you are carrying. Okay, so then drop that one, complete my stitch, carry the yarn, yarn over into the space, 1, 2, and then don't complete the third one, drop the working colour, pick up the one behind. Don't pull it too tight, just make sure that you haven't left like any loops or anything behind. But what you'll do on the next row is you will pick that up and you will kind of tidy it up as you go. So then pull that through, carry your working yarn, and you're just going to do this all the way along. Let me just do that one. Once I've completed this one, I'll just lay it down for you and I'll show you what it looks like. So don't complete that, put it down, pick this guy up, make sure it's not pulled too tight, complete. Okay, and then it should alternate like this. Okay, so then when we go over the next one, so the next row will be solidly this colour, and then you will like pick up the next bits, but just keep doing this all the way along. Make sure you're carrying your yarn with you, and I will meet you back for the last couple of stitches on this row. So when you get to the end of this, you just want to not complete this stitch, complete it with that colour there, and then what you'll do is you still need to carry this yarn here, this lighter one, and you're going to go into the top chain. So chain 1, because we're jumping over this cluster, and then just as you go into the top of that turning chain on there, just carry that second colour with you. I'm just like struggling to get under both loops of it, might be a bit fiddly there. Okay, so then carry this second yarn under here like that. I should have yarn over, go under both loops of that turning chain, carry this yarn, and then what you'll do is you'll not complete it fully, you'll bring this up and you'll just complete it with that one there. Okay, I've already cut this yarn off because I made a boo-boo, but yeah, then you can cut this colour off because you're not going to need it. Once you've done that, your row should look like this, so you should like be alternating on this one. So the next row is going to be solid of this colour. So turn your work, and then you'll do a standing double crochet into this first stitch. So basically do a single and then go back into its front leg and make another single. Okay, and because we're in a gap here, what we're going to have to do is carry this yarn. This counts as a double crochet for this cluster, so yarn over, and then whatever yarn was carried, you're going to go underneath it and you're going to pick it up like that. And you need another double crochet in there because we needed 3 for that cluster. And then you'll jump yarn over and then jump into the next space. Look for the yarn that was carried. Like, can you see it there? It was the rhubarb colour. Go underneath it and then make your double crochet. Okay, so 3 double crochets into each space. Okay, go to the next one. It's easier to see this carried one because it's a lighter colour. Make sure you pin it up there underneath your stitches like that. Okay, and you'll just carry along doing this row like this, just picking up each piece of carried yarn and doing 3 double crochet into every single space. 2 double crochets into the space, and then we'll be doing a double crochet into the turning chain here, but I'll see you back here in just a second. I've just got to the end here, so you're going to put 2 double crochets into this final space and then put the third one into like the top of this standing double crochet that we did. Okay, so chain that one there, and then just looking this one, so the one that goes into here is going to be the new colour, so you don't need to change colour just yet, so you can complete this stitch. Okay, and then you can turn your work. Okay, so this one here needs to be the new colour, so grab your new colour. Okay, once you've grabbed your new colour, you're going to make a standing double crochet. So there's my single into the front leg. So when you get to that, like the second single crochet of there, the stacked one, just drop that yarn for a second, bring in your new colour, and then what you want to do is complete the stitch with that new colour like that. Okay, so just give it a bit of a tail, not massive tail, but just enough so it's not going to come out, and it's one that you can pull and then you can weave in. Okay, so then just stick the tail out of the way and then just chain 1. You can do quite a tight chain on there just to anchor it on. Okay, and we are going to be carrying, in my case, the paler yarn, but like your colour be. Okay, so you need to yarn over and then do 2 complete double crochets into this chain, into this space, and then don't finish the third one like that. Then the yarn that you've carried, you'll pick it back up and you'll complete the stitch. Okay, and then we're going to carry colour C like that. Don't worry, we can tighten things up if they look a bit loose. You can tighten them up in time. Okay, so we're just repeating the second row, so I'm not going to complete that stitch. I'm going to change yarns like that. Okay, carry in the lighter yarn. Okay, don't complete the third stitch. So it's just a repeat of that row that we did where we were alternating. You're just doing exactly the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to just complete this stitch. It can get a bit fiddly, don't get me wrong, but it's well worth it because it is a beautiful pattern and it will make a beautiful garment. Okay, so just carry along just like this all the way to the end. If you do get tangled up, then you can just like physically take your yarns and spin them around each other just to untangle them. But if you're doing it this way, like working from one side to the other side, then it shouldn't get too tangled because you can snip the yarns off that you're not using anymore and then they won't get in the way. So just go all the way to the other side and I'll meet you back to complete this row just to make sure you know what you're doing. I just got to the final cluster on this one. I'm not completing that stitch. I'm going to switch colour. Okay, and I need to jump over here, so I'll just chain one. Okay, I don't need to carry this pink yarn anymore, so I can just drop it. And then I'll yarn over and I'm going to go into the top of that standing double crochet, or that stacked double crochet. And there we go. I'm going to turn my work. Okay, so I'm just going to get my scissors and I'm going to snip this one off because I'm finished with that colour now. There we go, so that can go over there. And then I just need to do a row of this solid smoked purple colour. So I'll start it with a stacked double like I've been doing into the front leg like that. Okay, and then since this is like a space straight away, so I didn't carry a yarn, so I don't need it to pick up anything. I can just put 2 more double crochets into this one here. Okay, but for this one I do need to pick up what I've carried, so I'll just go under it after I've yarned over, and then I'll make my 3 double crochets into here. Okay, and I'll just jump over and I'll just continue this all the way along this row. So if you want to do the same, I will meet you back once you get to the end of this row. So finish off your row, do that. We do need to change colours, but we're not going to do it just yet because it'll just become too faffy. So just flip it over, do a stacked double crochet as your first stitch. So there's the single, there's the double, and then chain 1 and then make 3 double crochets into here, but don't complete the third one because it is a colour change. 2.5. Okay, so then just put this colour here, bring in your new colour. Mine is the Cinder Rose, and then decent tail on it. Okay, pull that through. There's my decent bit of tail. Okay, and then carrying this colour C, my darker smoked purple, I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to make my first double. Okay, and then I'm going to make my second double and then my third, but I'm not going to complete it because it's alternating row. So you guys know how to do an alternating row by now because this is the third one. So just do an alternating row and you're literally just going to repeat this row, which is the same as that one, because we could have switched this to the alternate colour, but we didn't just because it would be too faffy. So this row 2 here is the same as 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so the row 2 is the same as row 6. And it's just a repeat between those. So it's like a 2, 3, 4, 5. So just repeating rows 2, 3 and 4, 5 until you get the length that you want. So I'm anticipating that for me, this is going to be somewhere between 1m60 to 1m80. But as soon as I've got this really long, I'll hold it up against myself and I'll show you how we're going to measure for the sleeves. So yeah, just continue with that. Keep repeating rows 2 to 5 and I will see you when your scarf is long enough, and the timestamps are down below for the rows if you need to watch anything again. So I'm finally getting to the end of making this scarfy part, and this is my 131st row. If you're working in a chunkier yarn, you're probably not going to need to do as many as 131. You'll probably need to do less. I'll demonstrate in just a second when I turn the camera around, like how you would kind of gauge if it's gonna like fit properly. So I'm just gonna finish off by putting this final double crochet into the side, and what I want to do now, just to kind of set myself up so I can start doing my decreases, is I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to just do a row of single crochet all the way along here before I can cut this one off and change colour. So you just want to put your hook in, bring a loop through, and then single crochet, and you're just going to do that all the way along the top. Just make sure you don't do it too tightly. Okay, so once you've done this, you will cut off this yarn, and my other side of this, if I can just find it, because it's extremely long now. So my other side, I'd started on this. All I'm going to do is just attach my yarn in the corner, and I'm just going to go along and make single crochets into every single stitch. So you know when we worked into the back bumps of those, it's left you with these little V's here, so that it's easier to work into. So you can choose to work into the chains if you want to, or you can just put 2 single crochet into each gap. It really doesn't matter, it's going to pretty much come out the same. But the purpose of this single crochet row is to start doing the decrease. So just finishing off this one, I've literally just done 2 single crochets into each space and a single crochet into like the bottom of each cluster, so that works out the same amount of stitches on this side to the other side. So then your last stitch should be into the bottom of that cluster, and then you can just chain 1, leave a decent tail, and then just snip. Okay, right, okay, we need to get ready for a decrease now. So I'm going to switch to, I'm actually going to do my sleeves in this colour because I have enough left of it. So this purple smoke here, one of the new Stylecraft shades, I think I've got enough for both cuffs in this. So I'm going to try that. So what we'll need to do is join our yarn on pretty much where you just left off. So I'm just going to turn and I'm just going to join my yarn onto here, just into that single crochet there. I'm actually going to drop a hook size because like I want it to be ribbingy, so I want it to look like nice and, you know, like neat. I don't want it to be in the same hook size because I want the stitches to kind of, you know, match up and look a bit smaller. So I'm going to drop a hook size. I'm going to drop down to a 4mm, and then I'm going to join on and I'm going to show you how to decrease. One thing I need to address though is all these ends. So I've decided that I'm not going to border all the way around mine. I'm just going to weave in the ends. So I have weaved some in, and all I do is I literally just take my tapestry needle and I just kind of weave them into the bottom of a cluster, like back and forward, and yeah, it looks pretty decent. So I'm happy with that, and I don't feel like I need a border on it, even though I think I mentioned I might put one, but no, I don't think I need one. So this looks nice. The edges are nice and straight, so let's push on and put some sleeves on after I've done all of these ends. So just to show you how I weave it in, so you can see this dusky pink colour here, I'm just gonna go in here. So just get them to a point where they're kind of in the bottom of a stitch, and then just kind of don't go the same pathway. Go like above and under some of them, and then just weave it back and forth. If you've got nice long tails, then you know you should have no problem with weaving back and forth. If you've got short tails, you might struggle a bit, so try not to have like too short a tail on each one. So you can see I'm just kind of weaving it wherever through here like that, just a good few times, just enough so that like if you were to put it in the washer, it's not gonna, you know, come out. So I think I've done that a fair few times on there, so that should be good enough. And then you just want to snip it off, and then it's hidden in there. So if you just do that there, so yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do all the way up the side. So yeah, see you back in a million ends. The amount of time it's taken to weave in the ends. It wasn't that bad. It was like maybe 45 minutes ish. So yeah, there was like 2 ends for like each kind of colour as it goes along. But look at it, isn't it fabulous? So right, because this is DK, this has been 130 rows, and I anticipate that this will stretch at least like maybe 20 to 30, even 40 centimetres, because it is DK. I mean, look, it is very stretchy. So ideally, when you make one of these, you want it, I've put my hair back out the way. So you want it so that when you have it like this, it will kind of just go past your knees. Right, I'm just going to show you how much yarn I've actually got left from each ball, just so that you know that this is not a very yarn eating pattern. So from this colour, from the pink rhubarb, I guess that's like a quarter of a ball, and it's pretty much the same story for all of them. So here's the Cinder rose. I had to ball this up. So this was the, hang on, its label is here, wild orchid, that one. So I mean, look how much is left. That's pretty much what's left on each one. Where is the, that's what's left of Milky tea, again like quarter of a ball, about, you know what, it might even be just over a quarter. So these are 100 grams, that's probably about 30, maybe even 40-ish grams. And where's the last one? Where's the important one? And then here's purple smoke. So me personally, I want to have darker sleeves. This will be a Christmas present, so I'm not keeping this for myself, because when I showed my mother this on like WhatsApp call, she was like, that's mine. So mother, I'm just about to put your sleeves on. She's going to know what it looks like anyway. She said, make it my Christmas present. And I'm like, well, it's not going to be a surprise, but anyway. So yeah, I'm going to put darker sleeves on, just so that, I mean, it will tie in, because look, there's loads of it throughout. It just depends what you want to put on it. Mine's going to be dark, just because I think darker sleeves might give it more of a, like, I don't know, elegant vibe, I don't know. And I just find that it's not going to, because if you wear it as sleeves, it's not going to show as much dirt as, like, say, this colour here, because this will, like, pick up grubbies. Also, sometimes my mum walks our dogs, and if the dogs are muddy, this is not going to show up doggy mud as much. So that's why. So let us now decrease this. We're going to decrease this. I'm going to flip you back around, decrease. Honestly, this will be so fast. I'm going to make the sleeves, that you can make it however long you want, but I'm going to kind of make them so they go from just like where the elbow is up to the wrist. But I'm not going to be doing like back loop only ribbon which goes up and down. I'm literally front pose, back posting it, and I'm dropping a hook size. So let me grab my 4mm and let's decrease this. So when you get to this point, it's absolutely essential that you get your scarf, and then you make sure that you kind of like fold it the correct way, so that both sleeves will like be like facing like this, you know, the same way. So essentially, if you did one this way, make sure you don't do the other one this way, or you're going to have to take it apart and do it all again. You want your sleeves kind of rolling in onto the same like side of the scarf. Hopefully that makes sense. It just means that if you had one going this way and one going that way, you're going to have a twist in your scarf. So just make sure that you like close them up the same way. So the process for actually like closing them up is going to be exactly the same for each sleeve. So whatever I do to this one, you're just going to do identically on the other side. Okay, so we're going to start by grabbing our 4-inch, oh my god. Going to start by grabbing our 4mm hook, and then just attach your yarn on whichever way you feel comfortable. I'm literally just going to pull it through and make a double knot so that it's nice and tight, and then I can crochet over its tail like that, and then it's not going to come out. So there's that one. And then all you're going to do is you're going to make a single crochet along each of these single crochets, but every, like, so we're going to go 1 2 3 4, and then 5 and 6 we are going to do 2 single crochets together. So let's just zoom you in a little bit. So I'm going to just sew those tails in. They can just move out the way for now. So for your first single crochet, just pull your yarn through, chain 1, and then go back in, turn it into a single crochet. So that's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, and then for 5 and 6 you're going to go into 5, pull it, and then into 6, pull it, and you'll have 3 loops, and then you just crochet them all together, and you just keep doing that to the end. So you'll go 1 2 3 4 5, ooh, no, hang on, we want to go 5 through 6 through. Okay, so just keep doing that. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2 together all the way to the end, and I'll see you in just a second when we get there. Once you get to the end, I've got 3 stitches left. If you've like done the same as me, then you'll probably have 3 left as well. So put your final 3 single crochets in, and then what you're going to do is we're now going to join both sides together. So if you're doing your second side, just be very mindful that you are folding it inwards the same way as the other one. Right, so to join this, you're just going to kind of bring it round so that it's like that, okay, so that you've got both ends. So the one you want to connect to is in your left hand, and the one that you're currently working on is in your right, unless you're left-handed and following this. In that case, it would just be kind of vice versa. So what you'll want to do is just slip stitch into that first stitch there, like that, okay, and it's kind of created an extra little stitch there, but we'll ignore that for now. So what you want to do now is go back into that stitch that we slip stitched into and bring another loop through, and then turn it into a single crochet. And then you're going to go back around repeating the 4 normal single crochets and then 2 together, and that's the only reductions that we're going to do, because when we get to doing the back loop, the back post front post ribbon, it will cinch in quite significantly, so this should be the only decreases that you need to do. So that was 1 stitch. I'll go and make a second, a third, a fourth, and then I'm going to do 5 and 6 together. Okay, so go all the way around. If you need to use a stitch marker, you can just grab yourself a stitch marker. I'm going to pop this yellow one in, so we're going to slip stitch back into this one here. Okay, so not the stitch that I said to ignore, like not the connecting one, because we're just going to ignore that. We're going to slip stitch into that first one, so leave that there. And you can leave this stitch marker in because it's a good indicator when you're going around and around doing the back post front posts. Right, so let's have a look. I did 1 normal one there, so I need to do 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6 together. You will need to start turning your scarf because you've probably got a very long scarf by this point, and it is going to need a lot of turning during this process. So I'm just going to do 5 and 6 together like that, and then I'll meet you when you get back to this stitch, which is 1, 2 before the stitch marker. So I'm just getting to the end here, so this is my 5 and 6 there. So there's 1 more single crochet for me to work into here, and then I'm just gonna ignore that one, and I'm just gonna slip stitch straight into where I put the stitch marker, right there. I might have to take the stitch marker out and then slip stitch into the top of there like that. Okay, right, what you want to do now is turn it so that it's the correct way. So go back into that stitch, pull through, okay, so you've made a single crochet, but then we're going to turn this into a double crochet, and we're going to do a round of double crochet. So you can try your arm in. So I'm just making sure that it's not going to be too tight up on this part of my arm near my elbow. Let me just zoom it out a teensy little bit there. So I've tried it on because I know that I want my sleeve to be like half my arm basically, and this, once you start doing the back loop, the front post and back post crochets, it is literally going to cinch right in, so you really don't want to make this like too reduced. So like just those like 2 rows of reductions will be absolutely fine, unless you've got really skinny arms. I know I like cake, so my arms are bigger than some people's, but like this is quite good, so I can get like another hand in there, but like I said, it is going to cinch in significantly. So after you've made that standing double crochet, you're literally just going to go around into every single stitch with a double crochet, because we're setting up to start doing the ribbon. So just yarn over and into every single stitch. If you want, you can pop a stitch marker into the top of there, because that's where you'll slip stitch into at the end of this row, but I mean it's fairly obvious where I started, so I'm not going to do that. So I'll meet you back once you've put a double crochet into every single stitch. So that was my last double crochet into there. I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of here
like that. Okay, and then what you want to do is kind of pull your loop up. I'll just zoom you in a little bit so you can see. So just pull yourself up, not a massive loop, but just, you know, a decent loop there. Then you want to yarn over and then go behind that stacked double crochet there and bring your yarn like this, and then pull through 2 and then pull through 2, and that height on that loop just kind of helps it go over there. Okay, so we've just made a front post. Then you want to yarn over, put your hook behind, and then make a back post double crochet, and then yarn over, and then front post, and then yarn over in through the back and make a back post, and just do this all the way around. If you just so happen to have an odd number of stitches, then you might end up with a front post and a front post together. If you don't want that look, you can always back post 2 of them together on the run up to that, and then it'll cinch it a teensy bit more, but it won't make that much of a difference. And then if you're wanting like just front and back all the way up, then that's what'll happen. But I'll get round to here because I don't actually know how many stitches I've got here. I could count them, but I haven't. I'll get around to about here, and then if that's going to happen, I'll basically show you what I mean. So just get around to here and I'll see you in just a second. So just looking at mine, I've just done a front post, and then I'll do a back and a front and a back. But if it just so happened that you were going to do like, so that you were going to have 2 front posts together and you don't want that, all you would do is just back post 2 together like that, and then just continue round, and then that would kind of just cinch it so that it would be perfect basically. So if you really like all about the aesthetic of it looking all perfect, then just crochet 2 together when you get to a back post, and then it'll, as you go up, honestly you won't notice it. It'll be absolutely fine. Even if you did have 2 front posts together, it's not the end of the world. But if you just want it to look aesthetically pleasing, then yeah, if you've got like an odd number of stitches, then just back post 2 together and that'll sort that out. Mine have worked out perfectly, thankfully. So I'm just gonna do my front in there and then my back post in there. So that's my last back post of this round. Whoopsie. There. Okay, right, so it looks a bit fat and compressed, but it's fine, we can work with it. So what you want to do is, you've got basically 2 loops. You've got that long loop that were pulled up at the beginning, I don't know if you can see, so there. I know dark yarn's not the best to work with, but what you actually want to do, there should be a little loop inside, which is the true top of the of that double crochet. You can, if you want to, for ease, you can just slip stitch into this long loop there. It's not going to make too much of a difference, because all you're going to do is pull up another bit of a loop, yarn over, and you are going to front post around the whole thing like that. So this is the start of the next round, and then you would just do exactly the same thing that you did to start that one, and then all you'll do is just back post in the back posts and front post in the front posts. So that's how you'll start and finish every round. You'll just do a slip stitch into the first stitch, and then when you've done that, you'll then pull up a bit of a loop, yarn over, and then front post. So you'll always start with the front post and then just keep going round and round. I think I'm gonna do 30 rounds, and I'm going to see how it looks and how it fits. I might finish at 30, or I might want it a bit longer. It is personal preference, and it's totally like, it's up to you how long you want it. It's totally customizable. If you'd made your scarf like way longer than mine, like for example 150 rows, you might just want a little cuff. It's up to you, or you might want a big one. But bear in mind that this will stretch when it's steamed or washed or anything, and the ribbing as well will probably like stretch a little bit. So I'll put my arm in there, see how it's cinching now, and that feels like it's going to fit. I'll just zoom you out. That's going to fit nice, so it's not too tight. Bashing the camera. So it's not too tight, and it will, as it goes on, just cinch itself in just a little bit more, but that's fine. So like if you are somebody that doesn't like tight clothing, make sure that you don't reduce it too much before you go on to this bit, or you will have to frog it and redo it. So that's my advice there. So what I'm going to do is finish this off, get to about 30-ish rows, try it, see how it looks. I'll show you how it looks. And then after I've thought, right, that's fine, I'm going to repeat it on the next side, and then after that we're going to talk about steaming, blocking, etc, etc. So I will see you back once I've done about 30 rows on this. I know I said I was going to check in at 30 rows, but I'll just check in at 20. So this is 20 rows, so it's really comfortable. So like, as I say, don't reduce too much on here. You need to, like, because this cinches in, so when I take it off you can see like that it kind of pulls itself together in there. But like I say, this is 20 rows. I think it's going to take another 10 or 12 to get here. Right, so we need to steam this now. I've just done a steaming session with this. If you haven't seen this video already, it's the everything I made with my Aldi yarn video, so go and check it out. But yeah, so I need to steam this bad boy because I would like it to be at least 30 centimeters longer. I don't mind if these like stretch or not, but like this needs to stretch itself a bit longer. So I've got my steamer set up. I'm just going to kind of hang it on here. I'm just going to grab like a coat hanger, so like one of these, and I'm just going to put it over like that, and I'm just going to steam it. So like here comes a time lapse with some funky music so you can watch me steam it. Looks like it's lengthened a lot and it's like so much softer. Let me just turn this off. Right, I'm gonna actually see if I can try it on now. Oh my god, like the amount of softness in this now. I'm actually gonna like try and stretch it a bit more because I probably should have put more layers on it. I didn't actually show you how much yarn I had left, so I had to run I'm here. I had to run and buy another one of the smoked purple, so let me just show you. I used a whole smoked purple plus about half of another one, and that's purely because I wanted to do like these sleeves in just smoked purple. But for the rest of them I balled them up. I had about, must be about 30 to 40 grams left of each ball, so there's loads left, so I could have made this longer. So you probably could do like 200 rows or maybe more on one of these, but bear in mind if you steam it like I've just done, it is going to get longer. So, without further ado, let's whip off this jumper and let's try this on. How it's going to look on me. So, right, I saw somebody, there's about 10 different ways to wear this. So I saw somebody put it over the boo-boos, and then I saw them just put their arms in. Oops, hang on. So, arm in, and then like kind of over the shoulder a little bit, and then over the boo-boos, and then around. Why do I get the feeling this is not going to look good on me? And then other arm in. Yeah, okay, I don't have the body type to wear it this way. Let me just put it over my shoulder. I mean, it stretches now. It wasn't stretching this far before. What on earth is this? Oh yeah, perfect advertisement for my pattern. Yeah, this is great. Some people wear it like this, which is not cute on me. Wow. Let's put it on conventionally, shall we? Let's just put it on like a normal scarf. Yay, look. Normal scarf. Actually, I'll just leave my hair in. Yeah, and then if you're cold, you can just pop your little arms into it like this. That's probably how I'd wear it, to be fair. Like, just like that. And then it's kind of covering my back a little bit. Oh my god, that was so much better. That's actually really cool. And then you can put your coat on. Oh yeah, maybe I should have put thumb holes in this. I mean, you probably could pierce your thumb through one of those, or you would just like chain instead of like doing one of these back loops or front loops. Actually, that's really cool. There's it in the back. Oh, I like it. Look at that pattern. Isn't that pattern so good? Yeah, look at the state of me. Hopefully you like it. I'm going to insert some footage of me wearing it at the pumpkin patch. So here's that footage. Here it is, out in the wild. It's actually really snuggly. It's kind of rainy, we're in a pumpkin patch. And it is, honestly, like, because it's acrylic, it's just a little bit warmer. But this is my Aldi yarn. But yeah, it's really, really good. So highly recommend, 10 out of 10, absolutely love this. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, it really helps. Really appreciate if you would subscribe as well, because I've got more shenanigans and more stuff to make. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye!